for the Koshkonong Bluejays. Number 0, Walter Wilson. Number 2, Ken Miller. Number 23, Gordon Burgess. Number 31, Dayton Roy. And number 33, Ethan Hawkins. And get on your feet. Put those hands together to work on the box number 2. Please remember the fact that but also let's please go out and the winner of the start and compete good sports. Good. Foul on 14. Brian for bonus.
Here, the rest of the house. Let Max get up there. All right.
And Hope you have plenty of time to register for a drawing. T-Club's grill over there are also sports project graduation. Located in the setup at Nation and Gymnasium, that's where the main entrance is. Also, we'd like to thank Kirby Somlo for sponsoring tonight's sports coaches activity. Donettes. Bluejays. Bluejays.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, check, check, test 1 2. How am I sounding, Matt? Sound all right? Test 1 2, test, 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 check, check, check. Oh my gosh, I hate them when they don't put their numbers in order. Thank you. What'd you do with it?
Right where I put it. Because I forgot to take it back out.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bill Elwright Gymnasium in Doniphan, from Missouri, for another night of Doniphan High School basketball. Tonight we got the Donettes in action for you, and they're playing host to the Koshkonong Lady Bluejays. And we're 4.5 minutes away from our national anthem starting lineups. Donettes got win number 10 on last Tuesday night as they defeated Fredericktown 52-31, and they come in with a record of 10-4 on the season. And they owe Koshkonong a little bit. They went over to Koshkonong last year, and they should have won the game, but they didn't. And a lot of these girls are back. Matter of fact, I think Coach Epps said they only lost one girl from last year's team. So they've only got 8 players on their roster. They have several seniors and juniors. Matter of fact, they have no sophomores at all on their squad. And they do not have a JV, so they only have 8 girls total. They got a couple of 3 seniors and 4 juniors and 1 freshman. And they're going to start a senior and 4 juniors. And like I said, the Donettes owe them a little payback from last year, hoping to get that here at home tonight and get another win in the win column to go to 11-4 on the season. Donettes got a busy week next week and the following week as well. A lot of Ozark Foothills Conference games coming up. Their next game will be on Monday night as they will travel to Alton. And I do want to alert everybody right now, I talked to Coach Epps. Alton is down to 7 players. They do not have a junior varsity. So on Monday night, it'll be a 6 o'clock game. That'll be on KYEC 88.3 FM. As far as I know, they contacted over there, said that we could get out with a cell phone, so we should be in good shape on Monday. And then on Thursday next week, that's the biggie. The one the Donettes, I'm sure, are looking forward to. They got a rematch with the Needleville Lady Tigers, who beat them in the first place game of the Lady Royals Christmas Classic. And they go to Needleville to play that game next Thursday, the 23rd. The following week, they have all 3 games are at home the following week against Dexter on Monday, Clearwater on Tuesday. There'll also be a boys game that night. And then on the 30th, on Thursday, they will play the Twin Rivers Lady Royals here. And that will round out the OFC schedule. And Coach Epps told me he thought that they would have all the conference games in before they have the seed meeting. Right now, the Donettes are, let's see, 2-0 in the Ozark Foothills Conference. It should be 3-0, I believe. They've got Naylor, East Carter, and Greenville. They're 3-0, and right now they're in first place because Naylor beat Neelyville week before last, and then the Donettes beat Naylor in the regular season game as well. So right now the Donettes are in first place in the conference as well, but that will be a stiff task going to Neelyville to play them on their home floor. And this time Neelyville knows coming in that the Donettes can play with them, because that was a very close game in the championship game down at Twin Rivers. We're just going to hang around here for a second, and we're going to have our national anthem coming up here in probably just about a minute or so. The starters for the Koshkonong Lady Bluejays will be number 14, Lorna Howell, a senior, Tyra G, a junior, Megan, I'm going to call her Mafe, I'm not sure if that's how you say her last name, a junior, Brittany Russell, a junior, and Callie Sturgeon, a junior. They have a little bit of height out there, as I can tell while they're warming up here. And they are headed to the bench. They're coached by Charlie Ballard. He's been coach over there for a pretty good while now. They have blue uniforms with white numbers. It says Lady Jays across the front of their uniforms. Donettes in their home whites with black numbers, with Doniphan across the front of theirs. We are going to have the national anthem, and while they play that, we're going to take a 90-second break, and we'll be back to get this game underway here from Doniphan. Stay with us.
If you're shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV, you need to make a stop at Countryside Chevrolet on Highway 160 in Doniphan. Countryside has one of the largest Chevrolet selections in the area, plus plenty of pre-owned vehicles that go through a 117-point inspection before they're warranted for 12 months or 12,000 miles. The goal at Countryside is to provide you the best deal on your next car, truck, or SUV. See them online at CountrysideChevrolet.com or call 1-800-63-CHEVY. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
Hometown Pharmacy on LaRue Street in Doniphan, your one-stop pharmacy for all of your medical needs. Our pharmacists are now providing vaccinations for flu, pneumonia, and shingles in the pharmacy. Flu shots are covered by Medicare with no co-payment and no appointment is necessary. Hometown Pharmacy now offers a wide variety of vitamins and supplements from Now Foods that help support and promote optimal health through good nutrition. Refills can be requested online or by using our mobile app. We now offer delivery of your prescription if you live within the city limits. Transferring prescriptions is easy. Come by or give us a call and our friendly staff will take care of everything. Hometown Pharmacy, proudly supporting the Dons and Donettes this season. Come experience the difference a Hometown Pharmacy makes. Hometown Pharmacy on LaRue Street in Doniphan, your one-stop pharmacy for all of your medical.
Number 14, Lorna Howell. Number 10, Tyra G. Number 32, Megan Mafe. Number 11, Brittany Russell. And number 23, Callie.
Welcome back, everybody. We are having the Koshkonong Lady Bluejays introduced here, and as I said, they're going to start Lorna Howell, Tyra G, Megan Mafe, Brittany Russell, and Callie Sturgeon. And for Coach Adam Epps, Jalen Dutton, a 5'5" senior. Addie Jones, a 5'6" senior. Timber Turner back in the starting lineup tonight, a 5'7" sophomore. Olivia Cruz, a 5'6" junior, and Emily Ettier, a 6' senior.
5'6" junior, number 22, Olivia Cruz.
Here in the first half, the Lady Bluejays will go from right to left, Donettes from left to right. By the way, we had a junior varsity boys game here before this one started, and the Dons won that 65-26. That game was also against the Koshkonong junior varsity. Actually, it was actually against the Koshkonong junior varsity and varsity team. They brought all their players. And their coach played a lot, varsity players a lot of the game, and the Dons still whooped it on them pretty good. All right, it's going to be Callie Sturgeon jumping against Emily Ettier, and we are set to go. And the ball is tipped, and Ettier controls it in the center court circle. I thought that was illegal, but they didn't blow the whistle. So Looks like a 2-3 zone or a 2-1-2 zone by Koshkonong. Olivia Cruz dribbles head of the key, gives it left side to Turner. Right back to Cruz. Now left corner it goes to Jalen Dutton. Cross court pass. Addie Jones fakes the three. Now back to Dutton, steps into the three-pointer. It's no good. And Edier gets the rebound and puts it in. Emily the other night against Fredericktown scored the first 9 points for the Donettes. Megan Maffey handled the ball out front, guarded by Cruz. Penetrates, kicks it out to Russell. Russell dribbles around the screen into the lane. Now she's tied up and she switched her pivot feet, but they didn't call a walk. Gives the ball back to Maffey. Back to Russell. They're the only two that's touched the ball so far. Now they get back to a jumper from the free throw line by Russell. Missed it. The ball's tipped back to her, and she puts it in from about 10 feet. And we're tied at 2. Koshkonong going to apply some full court pressure. But no more kids than they got. I don't know how long they would do that unless they turn the Donettes over a lot. Cruz is going to throw it way down the floor to Addie Jones. Fakes the shot and then goes around the defender, and we're going to have a foul. That's going to be on number 14, Lorna Howell. And we have her first foul in the game. Jalen Dutton will throw it in for the Donettes under the right side of the basket. Dutton wide open in the middle is Edier, but she missed a shot and the ball's tipped and it's going to be picked up by G. And she's going to be fouled in the backcourt. Jalen Dutton got a little too close. And Emily missed a pretty easy one she didn't normally miss that time. 6.5 minutes left first quarter. We're tied 2. Koshkonong and the Donettes. Maffey dribbles over, gives it right side to G. G back out front, and Howell's going to take it down, put it up, and boy, that looked like a clean one. That looked like that ball was already out of her hand. They're going to call 31. That's Emily Edier, and that's pretty much a cheap foul. And it'll send Lorna Howell to the free throw line early in this one for first free throws of the game. And she misses the first one. Coach Epps questioning the official to see, because if she didn't foul her down low, that was not a foul. Howell splits the pair. Gives Koshkonong a 3-2 lead. And they go back into the press. Dutton throws it up into the front court to Jones. She has to go high to catch it. Dribbles to the right wing. Now back to Olivia Cruz. Left side to Dutton. Dutton dribbles back head of the key and gives it to Cruz. Penetrates, kicks it out in the corner to Jones. Addie Jones had a good three-point night the other night, had 3 of them. Olivia Cruz back on the left side to Dutton again. Back to Cruz. Going to take it into the paint, out to Jones. Fakes the three-pointer, and we're going to have another foul. This one is going to be on Tyra G as Jones tried to go around her on the baseline. And that's a second team foul against the Lady Blue Jays. Dutton will throw it in. And Edier sets a screen and then turns around and faces the ball. And they try to get it to her, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Russell. So they'll go over to the other side of the basket, and Addie Jones will throw it in. Into Edier, out left side of Dutton, looking back in the corner for Jones, posted up Edier. Free throw line, Cruz wide open, shot up and in and out. Jones is going to get the rebound on the baseline. Again, Cruz open, doesn't want to take the shot, out to Addie Jones. Three-pointer up and no good. And a nice block out there by Tyra G to get the rebound for the Lady Blue Jays. Brings it down, takes it down to the corner. I started to say she handed it off, but I think she just lost it and it went right to Howell. And a jumper put up, doesn't draw any iron. And that was by G. Edier with the rebound, pass up into the front court. Addie Jones tries a three from this side. It's off the back of the rim. Edier comes flying in and gets her hands on it, and then it's knocked out of her hands. And it'll stay with the Donettes under their own basket. Dutton inbounds it to Jones on the right wing. Back to Dutton in the corner. Dribbles into the paint. Out to Cruz. She steps into a three. It's short. And a rebound down to Maffey. And she's got a chance to take it all the way. Takes it down. Missed the layup. Offensive rebound by Howell. She missed it. And then after the missed shot there, we got a tie ball. And the possession arrow favors Koshkonong. Well, the Donettes got 2 early points, and now we're almost halfway through the first quarter, and we're still stuck on 2. And bounce pass out front, knocked away by Addie Jones, picked up by Turner. She's going to be fouled. That one's on number 14. That's going to be the second one on Howell. And Coach Ballard only has 3 subs on his bench. Donettes trying to get something going on offense. Dutton and Cruz play catch in the backcourt. Up to Dutton. Straddles the half line. Cross court pass to Jones. Down underneath Eddie are wide open. And she lays it in. That was a good job of breaking the press that time. That was pretty easy. Donettes full court man-to-man. Addie Jones all over G. She gets a screen, gets around the Donettes defense, bounces down low. They got an easy shot underneath and they score. That was Callie Sturgeon with her first bucket. And they go back up 5-4. Turner, and she overshot Dutton cutting down the left side. And number 24, Jade Bell, a senior, comes in for Lorna Howell, who checks out with 2 personal fouls. So the turnover gives it back to Koshkonong. Roll 4 left first quarter, it's 5-4. Koshkonong on top. Inbounds pass comes to Moffitt. Crossover dribble, now she backs it out, waits on her teammates. Gives it on the left wing to Russell. Russell gets a screen, now she's double teamed. And now she gets around the screen, gives it to Mafe. And the pass to G's knocked out of bounds, but I think they're going to say G touched it last. But good defense there by Addie Jones. And I'm guessing that Coach Epps thinks that G may be their best player, because Addie Jones usually guards their best player, or at least the point guard. Go in the middle to Turner. She hits Jones, up ahead to Dutton. Dutton fakes and makes a nice move, goes in, and the ball stripped out of her hands, and they're going to call a jump ball. A little delayed whistle there. I thought he was going to let it go as a blocked shot, but this time the arrow favors the Donettes. Dutton inbounds it to Cruz. Out in the corner, Eddier. Donettes down 5-4. Eddier's going to give it back out to Cruz. It's a 2-1-2 zone by Koshkonong. 3:20 to go first quarter. Donettes down by 1 point. Over to Dutton. Down low, Eddier posted up, and her pass is batted away and going to go out of bounds. She got a little behind the backboard there, and she wasn't going to be able to do anything with it. She tried to get it back out to Jones, just knocked out of bounds. Bailey Carson comes in for the Donettes, and Jalen Dutton will check out. Emily Eddier is going to inbound it this time. Gets it in the corner to Turner. Out to Carson. Back in the corner to Addie Jones. Jones, free throw line. Cruz stops, shoots, high arcing shot, and it goes in. Kind of a lucky bounce there. That ball almost stuck on the back of the rim. And again, Mafe just dribbles right through the defense and pushes off with her offhand. No good, no call, and then she missed the easy shot. And we got a rebound by the Donettes, and Brittany Russell's going to pick up a foul. And with the Donettes up 6-5, 2:48 to go first quarter, Coach Ballard calls the timeout. So we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you.
I am Doug Green, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're in Ripley County, I've got you covered.
We got 2 minutes, 48 seconds left in the first quarter. The Donettes lead to Koshkonong Lady Bluejays 6-5. And it will be Donette's ball. Now they pull off the press and drop back into their zone. I think Coach Ballard thought the Donettes were getting some easy shots, so he comes out of that press. And they line up in a 2-2-1 zone, or 2-1-2 zone. Eddier in the left corner. Back on the wing to Cruz, out front to Carson, now right side to Jones. They play catch around the perimeter. Carson over on the left side to Olivia Cruz. Cross court pass to Jones. Jones picked up, back to Carson. Carson dribbles down, kicks it out to Jones. She dribbles back out and gives it out front to Cruz. I'm glad to see the Donettes being patient because sometimes they get a little big a hurry trying to get that ball inside. And now that Carson just throws it out of bounds, that was not even close. I mean, Jones come cutting across the baseline, but that ball went out of bounds on the sideline. I don't know if she didn't look before she threw it or what. But again, Mafe gets it up into the front court. And a pass ahead, three-pointer up and good. That is up by Russell, and she's got 5 points, and she was wide open. Now they go back to guarding the ball up front, but only 2 up by the free throw line of the Donettes. Koshkonong back on top, 8-6. Olivia Cruz directing traffic, gives it in the corner to Jones. And her pass in the middle. There was what I was just talking about. Getting in too big a hurry. And the tie ball will belong to Koshkonong. Don't throw the ball away. I just talked about how good they were being patient, and then they throw it away as soon as I say that. They actually did it the last time too, but that was just a bad pass. Out there was being too impatient. Jade Bell comes out and gets the ball after Mafe was tied up. Now Sturgeon holds the ball above her head. And the ball knocked away by Turner, but it'll be picked up by Russell, who's got 5 points. Dribbles down to the paint. It's kicked out to Bell. She's going to shoot a 3 way off, and the rebound's going to come all the way back out front. It's going to be picked up by Koshkonong, and they throw it away. Bell trying to hit Russell, and she throws it behind her and goes out of bounds. Jalen Dutton back in. Sydney Speck also in for the Donettes. Jones and Cruz will get addressed. And Coach Epps has got the luxury of running in a lot of girls here. And I think before the game's over, that will wear Koshkonong down, as long as the Donettes just stay patient. Speck in the left corner. Bounces out to Carson. Dutton's wide open, but they don't get it to her in time. Back across court, Speck dribbles to the baseline. Now back to Carson. She's going to shoot a 3. It's no good. And a rebound down to Bell. Donettes still struggling from the field. We're under 30 seconds to go. And Russell's going to take it down, lay it up, no good. Another foul on the Donettes. This one will be on Timber Turner. And she is just putting her head down and going to the basket when she gets it. And Megan Mafe was doing the same thing. And the Donettes have bailed them out a couple of times. Russell's free throw is off the back of the rim, no good. Now Brooklyn Klepsik checks in for the Donettes. She replaces Turner. Klepsik, a three-point sharpshooter, freshman. She gets time to set her feet and look at it. She will knock it down. That one is no good. Klepsik gets the rebound. Hands it to Dutton with 24 seconds left in the first quarter. And Dutton dribbles it off her leg. It's picked up by Bell. This is not the start Coach Epps wanted to get off to, I can tell you that right now. Bell gives it in the corner, Russell. Now G takes it into the paint, throws up a wild shot, gets her own rebound, puts it in. Sometimes that happens when you get a wild shot. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. And not a good one for the Donettes. They trail the Koshkonong Bluejays 10-6 after one quarter. We'll be back in 1 minute here on Current River Broadcasting.
Davis True Value is proud to sponsor the Dons and Donettes for another exciting ball season. Just like the Dons and Donettes, Davis True Value knows hard work wins the game. They are your selection, service, and savings destination hardware store, serving the area with paint, plumbing, electrical, lawn and garden, and housewares. Your local True Value hardware with so much more. From window repair to chainsaw sharpening, we are the store of first choice. Behind every project is a True Value.
The phone booth is your one stop for all your cell phone needs. The phone booth now offers Total Wireless, where you can get unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data for only $35 a month. Need to add more phones to your account? Not a problem. Family plans are also available. You can manage your account in person or online at tpbooth.com. Come see the phone booth next to Subway and Doniphan for all your cell phone needs.
welcome back, everybody. It's 10-6 Koshkonong at the end of the first quarter. I want to kind of clarify what I said right there when G1 drove in there and threw up that wild shot, and it was a wild shot. The defense is kind of discombobulated, and they're all out of position, and that ball came right back to her with nobody in between her and the basket, and she kind of threw it up again instead of shooting it, but it went in, and that happens sometimes, but that was not a good first quarter. And there's Klepsik's first three. It's no good. She goes in and gets her own rebound, up high off the glass and good. 10-8. Donettes back in their full court press. Mafe gets it into the front court. Gets a screen. Gives it to Jade Bell. Bell out front with it now. Reverses her dribble. Gives it to Callie Sturgeon. Sturgeon dribbles down. He's cut off. Back out front to Bell. Now Bell will hand it to Tyra G. Dribbles in, kicks it out to Mafe. Good defense by the Donettes. Over to Bell, and we got 3 seconds on. We got number 35 in the game. I did not catch that. Her name is Cher Gastineau. She was called for the 3 seconds. Just underway in the second quarter. The Donettes have got the first bucket here in the second quarter by Brooklyn Klepsik, the freshman. They've got a chance to tie it, maybe take the lead. Allison Skaggs also win the game for the Donettes. Cruz with a head fake. Nice move. Pass over on the other side. Edier wasn't expecting it. Actually, that was a pretty good pass. Coach Epps was pointing out in a corner hit when she drove in there. I think that was Klepsik or Jones. One was open, wide open in the corner for a three-pointer. Mafe dribbling it up. Cruz making her work hard, though. I still think by the end of the game, the Donettes, with playing more players, will have Koshkonong wore down unless they're in awfully good shape. Sturgeon gives it to Bell. Bell looking inside, nobody open. Back out front to Mafe. Now to G, left wing. Takes a couple dribbles. Back to Mafe out front. Now to Sturgeon on the left side. Emily Edier comes out on her. And Edier knocks it away. Ball's loose on the floor. Cruz picks it up and gets it off to Allison Skaggs. It's got Jones was wide open up ahead, but she didn't see her. Cruz dribbles down, kicks it out in the corner to Addie Jones. Back to Olivia Cruz. Dribbles to the free throw line, tries to pass it inside. And there you go again, trying to throw the ball right through people, and it's intercepted. Edier was wide open underneath the basket. If you just take your time there and pass the ball around people, you got a wide open layup. Sturgeon, left side, Mafe. Takes one dribble. Now she loses her dribble. In the lane. Now out in the corner. Bell's three-pointer way overshot it. Edier picks it up off the floor. Addie Jones up the left side of the floor. Hands the ball back to Olivia Cruz. Now back to Jones. In the corner, Skaggs. Skaggs, another freshman, 6-footer. Cruz free throw line, jumper's good. 4 points for Olivia Cruz. We're tied at 10. And Coach Charlie Ballard calls the timeout with 5:19 left in the first half. Another low-scoring half here at Doniphan High School. We're going to keep it here and remind everybody tomorrow night is homecoming here at Doniphan. The boys will be playing the Naylor Eagles. And Dalton Pennington is going to be sitting in for me tomorrow night, and he will have the game right here on YouTube for you tomorrow night with the junior varsity game at 6, and I believe the homecoming is going to be in between games, and then the varsity game will follow. He'll have the play-by-play of the varsity game for you probably around 7:30 or so tomorrow night. Boys got a couple of games next week as well, and they will play. Let's see, they go to East Prairie. No, they've only got one game next week, and that's next Friday at East Prairie. They'll make a long haul down 60 Highway down to 55, go down 55 a little ways, and then take, I think it's Highway 80 over to East Prairie, but it's a pretty good little trip. Be about like it was this past Monday night. We went to Mountain View, about the same amount of miles, I would say. After the timeout, Bell's going to inbound it. Gets it into Mafe. Mafe gets around the defense again, bounces it down low off the leg of Gastineau. And we have another held ball. And this one will belong to Koshkonong. Maddie Eddington comes into the game, replacing Allison Skaggs. Donettes have Eddington, Klepsig, Dutton, Jones, and Edier out there. The bounce pass comes into G. G, backdoor pass wide open coming off the screen is Callie Sturgeon, and she scores her second bucket. 5 minutes to go in the first half, back up by 2, Koshkonong 12-10. And a high pass there, nice save by Maddie Eddington. The ball went through Edier's hands, but it was way too high. And they did not have a good angle to get that in there. Free throw line, Edier, corner, Addie Jones. Thanks to 3. Maddie Eddington with the offensive rebound. Nobody on that side of the floor but her. And she sticks it back in off the glass. Maffei doing a pretty good job bringing the ball up. Now, they're not double teaming her. It's just straight man-to-man, but that makes the other point guard work hard to get that ball up the floor. G comes out and receives the ball at the volleyball line. Still got her dribble live. Now she's going to shoot a long three-pointer. Almost went in. Offensive rebound by Gastineau. Tries the left hand, missed it. And Edier gets the rebound. Maddie Eddington throws it up ahead. Jones, and she travels. She was looking to pass, and she should have been looking to shoot. She had a path to the basket. Lorna Howell back in for Gastineau for Alton. And Bailey Carson and Timber Turner come in for the Donettes. And Edier and Klepsik will check out. Donettes set up in their full court man-to-man. And bounce pass comes into G. Runs her into a double team that passes up ahead to Sturgeon. Sturgeon bounces in the paint. Now, excuse me. Got to get a drink of water. Hang on, folks. Shot missed, and the Donettes with a rebound. Back at the other end, Addie Jones misses a three-pointer. Ball bounces way out in the left corner, picked up by Callie Sturgeon. 12-12. We're down to 3.5 minutes left in the first half, and we only have 12 points aside. Donettes not doing much on the offensive end, but they're doing a fairly good job on defense. And Sturgeon is going to be fouled. And that one's going to go against Bailey Carson. And I had that for 4 team fouls. Olivia Cruz back in for Addie Jones. And it'll be Jade Bell to throw it in. Gets it in the corner, Maffei. Dribbles into the paint, goes around on the left side, missed the left-handed layup. Timber Turner with a rebound. Gives it up to Jalen Dutton. Dutton over to Olivia Cruz. Dribbles in, kicks it out in the corner, Carson. Free throw line, Dutton, and the ball went up in her. Jalen wears a kind of a skirt, I guess you'd call it. Back at the other end, Megan Maffei. The ball went up and got caught inside of her skirt that she wears. First time I ever seen that before. Carson with a nice drive to the basket, goes in, puts it up, missed it. And a rebound down to G. Comes up the left side. Cut off by Olivia Cruz. Koshkonong up 14-12. And it's really struggling on the offensive end. If somebody doesn't hit some three-pointers, they have a hard time against his own defense. Olivia Cruz knocks it away from Tyra G, and it goes out of bounds. And we have Edier and Speck checking back in. Carson and Eddington will go to the bench. G will inbound it in the corner, throws it out front to Bell. Bell goes around the screen, puts up the high-arcing shot, air ball. Dutton with a rebound. Dutton right up the gut, right down the middle of the floor. It's knocked away from behind. We're going to have a reach-in foul. And that foul is going to be on Maffei, her first. Only the 15th foul. Dutton will trigger it in for the Donettes. 14-12. Donettes down by 2. Pass wide open, Edier underneath, and she missed another one. Well, that's 2 that she has missed right underneath. That is not normal for Emily Edier. can't get any more open than that. They're going to call carrying the ball on Tyra G. So the turnover will give it back to the Donettes. And coming to the scores table is Brittany Russell. She's been on the bench for a while. She was one of the starters. And she actually has 5 points to lead them in scoring. Sydney Speck's going to put up a little short jumper, no good. And Timber Turner, in their battle for the rebound, knocks it out of bounds. Donettes can't buy a basket. Hopefully that lid will stay on that basket in the second half when Koshkonong gets down there. Russell throws it up ahead to Mafe. Dribbles to the baseline. Puts up the runner, no good, and an offensive, oh! That looked like an offensive foul, but they're going to call a block on Olivia Cruz. And there'll be 2 shots. This will be free throw number 5 and 6. Donettes have not shot a free throw here in this first half. And it's going to be Megan Mafe. She got 2 points, and that one's long. They've only made 1 out of 5. Addie Jones back in, and she replaces Sydney Speck. And number 2, Lindsay Wiggs, a freshman, makes her first appearance in the game for Koshkonong. Now Coach Ballard has used all of his players. Mafe makes the second one. Lead up to 3. Lob down low, too high, out of bounds. And again, that's about the 3rd time they've tried to throw that ball in there. And Eddier's been open, but the pass has just been too high. She's 6 foot tall, and G loses control of it and dribbles it on the sideline. Donettes only with 12 points here. We've only got 1:25 left in the first half. They have not been able to get it in. They do get it into her this time, and a nice catch after the bobble to pull it in and get it in, make it 15-14. Pass up the floor. Oh, Eddier had it intercepted, and Timber Turner tipped it. And then G catches it and lays it in. That's what you call a bad break there. I mean, Eddier was standing there like it was coming to her. And Timber Turner tipped it away from her. Cruz pass batted away again. It's going to be stolen. And she's going to get it back. Cross-court pass to Addie Jones. Down low to Eddier. Back out Cruz. Open at the head of the key. Her shot no good. And G with the rebound. Donettes can't make anything. G dribbles down into the paint, goes up, and no good, but they get the offensive rebound. Free throw line shot up, and it goes in. That was number 32, Mafe. And they're getting the bounces on their shots, and the Donettes are not. They're down 19-14, and I'm sure Coach Epps is going to give them a talking to at halftime because this has not been very pretty. Down to 10 seconds left in the half. Addie Jones is open in the corner. Three-pointer no good. And they get the rebound, and they're going to have to hurry to get a shot off. She's going to get it off, and it hits the front of the rim. Almost went in. And it is 19-14 in favor of Koshkonong here at halftime. And the Donettes have not looked good here. Coach Epps told me before the game he hopes they come out ready to play. Well, what I'm seeing is they didn't come out ready to play. You got to give Koshkonong some credit, though. They lead at 19-14. We'll take a 2-minute break, come back and give you the first half scoring, and we'll have more here from halftime at the Bill L. Wright Gymnasium with the Donettes trailing 19-14.
Born to be wild? Well, don't let higher fuel prices put a damper on your fun. Get to Countryside Chevrolet in Doniphan today for a more fuel-efficient vehicle and let your wild side ride. Countryside has new vehicles that get more than 30 miles per gallon. Find out about flex fuel technology and check their great lineup of program and late model pre-owned vehicles. Ripley County's largest Chevrolet dealer is Countryside Chevrolet in the Hillcrest Plaza, Doniphan. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for road trips. We're for covering as much ground as possible on 2, 4, or 18 wheels. We're for drop tops, T-tops, classics, cruisers, pickup trucks, and dump trucks. We're for displaying Missouri plates like Medals of Pride. Have you ever hit a deer? Yep, we're for you too. We're for getting stuck behind a tractor on a 2-lane highway. And if you're a Missouri driver, we have an auto policy for you.
I am Doug Green, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're in Ripley County, I've got you covered.
Needs. Our pharmacists are now providing vaccinations for flu, pneumonia, and shingles in the pharmacy. Flu shots are covered by Medicare with no co-payment and no appointment is necessary. Hometown Pharmacy now offers a wide variety of vitamins and supplements from Now Foods that help support and promote optimal health through good nutrition. Refills can be requested online or by using our mobile app. We now offer delivery of your prescription if you live within the city limits. Transferring prescriptions is easy. Come by or give us a call and our friendly staff will take care of everything. Hometown Pharmacy, proudly supporting the Dons and Donettes this season. Come experience the difference a Hometown Pharmacy makes.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Bill Elwright Gymnasium in Doniphan, Missouri. We're at halftime of the varsity girls game, and the Donettes trail the Koshkonong Lady Bluejays 19-14. Koshkonong had 5 players scoring that first half, and they had 5 points apiece from Brittany Russell and Megan Maffei. Russell hit the lone 3-pointer for Koshkonong in the first half. 4 points apiece for Tyra G and Callie Sturgeon, and 1 point for Lorna Howe, and they are 2 of 6 from the free throw line. Really neither team. Donettes don't have anybody with 2 fouls, and Lorna Howe is the only one for Koshkonong with 2. Donettes did not get to the free throw line in the first half, and that is a big concern. Boy, that is easy points. Well, if you're hitting free throws, it's easy points, but it's points that you score with the clock not running. And when you're behind, that's always a good thing to do. And the Donettes did not get to the free throw line 1 time. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 team fouls against Koshkonong, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against the Donettes. But 3 of the 5 fouls against the Donettes were shooting fouls, so that's the reason they had sets of 2 shots. We're only able to make 2 of them. And the Donettes had 4 players score. Emily Eddier's leading the Donettes with 6. Olivia Cruz has 4. Maddie Eddington 2 and Brooklyn Klepsick 2. And we have no points out of Jalen Dutton, Addie Jones, or Bailey Carson in that first half. And that hurts when the Donettes can't rely on getting a few points out of those 3. So they trail at 19-14 at the half. And hopefully they'll get on this other end, and that like I said, that basket won't have a lid on it, and hopefully the lid will stay on the other end because they sure didn't many of them go in, that's for sure. Had 7 field goals in the first half. I want to remind everybody again, tomorrow night, Dalton Pennington's going to be setting in for me here as the Dons are going to play the Naylor Eagles. It's homecoming, and the junior varsity game starts at 6 o'clock. I believe the homecoming will be between games, and then the varsity game probably somewhere around 7:30, but Dalton's going to be bringing you the play-by-play of that varsity game tomorrow night, and then I'll be back with you on Monday from Alton, Missouri. And a game note on that one, 6 o'clock start for the varsity. We don't want to run into what happened the other night at Mountain View. Get there and not be ready, and Matt not be at the station for me. So that will be the Donettes next game Monday night. I'm going to take a short break here, and we'll be back on with about a minute before the second half to get you set for that second half. It is 19-14, Donettes trail. Welcome back, everyone. Keith Bowman back at Doniphan High School. We're getting set for second half action here. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring you a little better result in the second half than we did in the first half. Donettes got to get some things ironed out here. One thing they got to do is put the ball in the basket. Giving up 19 points in the first half, that's plenty good enough, but you got to get more than 14. But we'll see what Coach Epps talked about at halftime. They've missed some easy shots, but they haven't hit any outside shots. It'll be Donettes' ball. They send the starters out. Dutton, Cruz, Edier, Turner, and Jones. It's G, Sturgeon, Maffei, Russell, and Howell for the Lady Blue Jays. Addie Jones took one dribble in bad spot, got tied up in the corner, gets it back to Olivia Cruz. That is a bad place to be. Koshkonong still in his zone. The Donettes have just really had trouble with it. There's a good catch by Edier, but a good strip on the way up by Brittany Russell. The Donettes still having to lob that ball to get it inbounds underneath to Edier. They're trying to pack it in. Dutton bounces it to Edier, over to Turner, and right over her head, out of bounds again. You got the right idea, but the passes are just too high. That's at least 4 times that they have had somebody wide open under the basket, and the pass has been too high for them to handle. G and Megan Maffei can't handle the pass, and Olivia Cruz heads back the other way. Dribbles to the corner, bounces to Edier, turns over her right shoulder, goes up, and we got a foul. And the first free throws for the Donettes coming here at 7:09 left in the third quarter. And that foul is on number 11, Brittany Russell. And they have that for her first. I already had her down for one. Edier misses the first one off the right side. That's another thing, when you get there, you got to make them. Well, they did give that foul to Russell, and I already had one for her, but I guess not. And that one rims out. Maffei gets it into the front court. Dribbles down the lane, goes up for the shot, and she missed the layup. They've missed a couple of layups too. And that's going to be a foul on Russell on the rebound. And Olivia Cruz having a hard time staying up with Megan Maffei. She seems to me to be slower than Olivia Cruz, but she seemed to be getting around her an awful lot. And there's no weak side help when she does get beat. They got Edier at the free throw line now. Addie Jones lobs it in the middle. Edier goes high and catches, turns, shoots, and it won't go. Timber Turner rebounds and puts it in. Well, Turner gets her first bucket. They need some points out of Turner, Jones, and Dutton this half if they want to come back and win. 19-16. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. Sturgeon, head of the key to Howell. Turner backs off over a little bit. Now she comes out on her. Dribbles into the paint, knocked away by Jalen Dutton, picked up by Emily Edier. Gives it to Olivia Cruz. Gets around her man. Goes down, kicks it out in the corner to Jones. And trailing the play was Howell to pick her up. Dutton dribbles into the paint. Out to Cruz. Steps into a three. No good. And Jalen Dutton saves it from going out of bounds. Nice hustle by Dutton. Free throw line, Edier. Her jumper's up. It won't go. And a rebound by Callie Sturgeon. That ball just hit her hands and let it go. She didn't take much time on that one. Pass in the lane to G, knocked away by Addie Jones, and Olivia Cruz picks it up. And we're going to have a foul on Tyra G as she knocked Olivia Cruz down after the steal. So that's 3 team fouls on Koshkonong. They only had 5 the entire first half, and they've got 3 here in less than 2.5 minutes in the third quarter. Donettes down 19-16. Olivia Cruz dribbles to the right side, gives it in the corner to Jones, knocked away, gets it back. Now she's double teamed, flips it up in the air, and it's stolen by Sturgeon. She's fouled by Cruz. And why they keep going to that corner, I do not know. She needs to come a little bit farther up to the wing and they can't double team her as easy. At least she's got the baseline to go to. But you get in that deep corner, you can't go either way when they double team you. So the Donettes have had 3 or 4 chances to catch back up here, and they haven't done it. Mafe goes cross court. We've got Bell back in the game. She checked in for Russell a while ago. Howell with it now. Over on the left side to Sturgeon. Down low, the ball knocked away again, and it's going to be saved in. And a nice save there, and Sturgeon's there to pick it up. Back out to Howell. She's going to shoot a 3. It's way off, and it's going to go out of bounds in the corner. It'll be Donette's ball. Fast-moving quarter, already down to 4:50 left in the third quarter. Donettes have the only 2 points in this quarter. Very low-scoring game tonight. Addie Jones in the corner again. Cross court to Turner. Gives it to Dutton. Fakes a shot at the free throw line. Goes up, man. She's going to be fouled. And I think that one's going to be on Mafe. And that'll be a shooting foul. So the Donettes getting to the line a couple times already. First time they were 0 for 2. And we'll see what Jalen Duttons does when we come back after this timeout with 4:39 to go in the third quarter. It's 19-16 in favor of Koshkonong. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Davis True Value is proud to sponsor the Dons and Donettes for another exciting ball season. Just like the Dons and Donettes, Davis True Value knows hard work wins the game. They are your selection, service, and savings destination hardware store, serving the area with paint, plumbing, electrical, lawn and garden, and housewares. Your local True Value hardware with so much more. From window repair to chainsaw sharpening, we are the store of first choice. Behind every project is a True Value.
If you're shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV, you need to make a stop at Countryside Chevrolet on Highway 160 in Doniphan. Countryside has one of the largest Chevrolet selections in the area, plus plenty of pre-owned vehicles that go through a 117-point inspection before they're warranted for 12 months or 12,000 miles. The goal at Countryside is to provide you the best deal on your next car, truck, or SUV. See them online at CountrysideChevrolet.com or call 1-800-63-CHEVY. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
Jalen Dutton at the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws. Donettes still down 19-16. We played 3 minutes, 21 seconds this third quarter. They only have the only 2 points of this quarter. And Dutton looking for her first point in the game. Takes her time on the free throw, puts it up, and it's good. Addie Jones still has not scored. Turner's got 2 this quarter, and Dutton, and those 3 are the ones I said needed to chip in a little bit. Dutton makes both of them, and it's a 1-point game again. Donettes back up, pick up man-to-man. Mafe out front. Crossover dribble goes down the left side of the lane, picked up at the free throw line. Out to Bell. Bell into Sturgeon. She's double teamed. Turns and faces the basket. I thought that was a double dribble. Sturgeon's shot no good. Timber Turner with a rebound. Outlets to Jalen Dutton. Dutton circles back out to the wing. Out front to Cruz. Down low, Edier with a nice catch. Puts it on the floor. Is going to go up with it, and we're going to have a foul. Emily 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Back there again. This one's going to be on number 24, Jade Bell. Emily with 6 points. And she missed it. Hey. Back in the game is Cher Gastineau. And she replaces Callie Sturgeon. It might be a good thing I don't have to do the game tomorrow night. My throat's giving me fits. And 0 for 4 now. And Olivia Cruz, nice hustle there, but it's going to go out of bounds. And they're going to say G touched it last. Everybody on this side, the Koshkonong fans, thought it was out on Donettes, but they're a little closer. The referee's a little closer to the play than we are. Cruz looking underneath. Nobody open, gives it to Addie Jones. Right back to Cruz. Cruz looks over to Coach Epps. Runs it to the right side. Gives it out to Timber Turner. Back to Cruz. Dribbles to the head of the key. Now to Dutton. Over to Turner. Right block. Throws it back out to Cruz. Fakes it. Takes it into the paint. Out to Addie Jones. Three-pointer. It's good. So all three that I said needed to score this half, they've scored all 7 points. And the Donettes go up 21-19. Mafe gets a screen. Stops on the left wing. Gives it to G. G back to Mafe in the corner. Looking inside. Bounces in the middle. Timber Turner comes off her man and almost had a steal, but that's a second or third time tonight the Donettes have got tangled up with their own player where they could have had a steal. And they end up knocking it out of bounds, but can't fault the hustle there. There's good help defense by Turner. Inbounds to Mafe in the corner. She's picked up on a switch by Turner. Dribbles out to hit at the key. Now she loses her dribble. On the left side, Eddier gets a steal. Oh, and before the steal, Coach Ballard called a timeout. And Eddier was headed to the other end, a 2-on-1. But the official on this side, he was close to Coach Ballard and said he called a timeout for the steal. And they called it a 30-second timeout, but evidently Koshkonong doesn't have a 30. So it's going to be a full timeout. Homecoming coming up tomorrow night as the boys will play their Ripley County rivals, the Naylor Eagles. And then the Dons will be off for a week. They don't play till next Friday night down at East Prairie. And a busy week for the Donettes next week. They have Alton on Monday and Neelyville on Thursday. And the next week is even busier. They got 3 games the next week. Ozark Foothills Conference Tournament, I believe this year is going to be at Neelyville. I heard that last couple of years they've had the whole thing at the old Best Activity Center. We're used to they have played it at a school and then had the finals at the Best Activity Center. I heard this year they're going back to the schools up until the finals, and they're either going to be at the Best Activity Center, possibly in that new Libla Sports Complex where Three Rivers men and women play. And that is February 8th through the 14th. And that'll be here before you know it. Donettes on a 3 by Addie Jones have taken a 2-point lead, and they have held Alton to no points this quarter. I mean, Koshkonong. G tries to bank in a 3-pointer, and the ball is going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Gastineau. She dives to the floor trying to get it. She actually had inside position on Eddier, but couldn't handle the rebound. Yeah, they have not scored a point, and we played over 5 minutes. The Donettes defense has ratcheted up a little bit, and the offense has come to life just a little. They've only scored 7 points herself. Pass in the corner to Addie Jones, and she had Eddier wide open. Now she gets it to her. Eddier backs in, shot off the glass and good. That's 8 for Eddier. 23-19. Bounce in the corner. Goes to Howell. Howell spins her way into the paint. Shot up, no good, and we're going to have a foul. Nice little spin move there by Lorna Howell. They're going to call it on the floor. That foul was on Timber Turner, her second. That is a second team foul on the Donettes. G's going to throw it in. Throws it into Bell on the left wing. Out front to Mafe, over to G, and it goes right through her hands out of bounds. There's something about that end of the floor tonight. Because that happened to the Donettes several times in the first half. That was a pretty good pass. I mean, it was a little high, but it was very catchable. And it just went through her hands out of bounds. Donettes looking to extend a 4-point lead. Cruz hands it off to Addie Jones. Cruz open in the corner. In the lane to Eddier. And they knock it away and steal it. Good defense there by G. She knocked it away. And Bell picked it up. G heads back to the other end. Dribbles to the left side of the lane. 3-pointer up and no good. And that was Mafe, and on the rebound, Jalen Dutton with a nice block out. She's the shortest player on the floor, got the rebound, and she's going to be fouled. And that is team foul number 6. So the Donettes are going to be in the bonus. We got 1:57 left in the third. They're going to be in the bonus the rest of this quarter and the whole final quarter. And they have only committed 2 fouls themselves. Dutton gives it to Cruz between the circles. Left side to Jones, in the lane Edier, and we're going to have a foul. I don't know if they'll give her 2, but they are in the bonus no matter what. And they're going to say on the floor, but it's a 1-on-1. That foul was on G, that's her 3rd. And we got Sturgeon checking back in. So far, this has been a problem here in the 3rd quarter. Emily Edier, normally a pretty fair free throw shooter, has missed 4 in this 2nd half, and the Donettes in the bonus the rest of the game now. And she missed that one. Sturgeon with the rebound. Bell will bring it up. Dribbling out front. Jalen Dutton dives to the floor. Bell gets it off to Sturgeon. She has to come out and help. Free throw line to Howell. She dropped it. They get it back somehow or another. And Sturgeon, now she's lost her dribble. Passes to Howell. Howell down into the paint, puts it up. No good. We're going to have a foul. And they call that on Timber Turner. And that will send Lorna Howell to the free throw line. She has 1 point. Bailey Carson probably going to come in for Timber Turner, who has 3 fouls. And they finally get their first point in this quarter with 1:22 to go. Bailey Carson was supposed to come in for Turner. Coach Epps upset she wasn't paying attention. Edier wasn't supposed to come out. And she's going to go right back to the scorer's table to check in. And she can come right back, I think. I thought they had to have some time run off the clock. And she's going to check in for Turner, who got that 3rd foul. Howell does make both free throws, makes it 23-21. Donettes have scored 9 points this quarter, and Koshkonong has 2. Pass in the lane, Edier with a nice catch, banks it in. Well, Emily in double figures now with 10. Quickly back the other way, Mafe gets a screen. And her pass batted away, right back to her. Out to Bell, 3-pointer, way off. And Jones with the rebound. Outlet pass to Edier. Edier's going to stop right before she gets across half court. That's a smart thing to do there, Emily. Get it to the guard. Addie Jones, they're really wanting to get that ball inside to Edier. And Coach Epps is stomping because she was open again. They didn't get it to her. Jones fakes the 3-pointer in the lane, and the ball's loose. And it's going to be stolen. 30 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Mafe reverses her dribble into the paint. Down low through Sturgeon's hands, and it's going to go out of bounds. And Dutton tipped it, and Bell couldn't handle it. And it'll be Donette's ball. Addie Jones goes to the bench. Sydney Speck comes in. Now Alton, I don't know why I keep wanting to say Alton. I guess the blue uniforms. Koshkonong goes back to the 2-2-1 press. Edier comes back and helps out. Passes over to Dutton. Back to Cruz. Pass up ahead to Speck. Goes in, puts the shot up, no good. And I tell you what, you can depend on Sydney Speck taking that ball to the hole if she gets a chance. She has no fear when it comes to taking that ball to the basket. And she can really jump for her height. That foul was on number 14, Lorna Howell, her 3rd foul. Well, Sydney Speck will shoot a couple. And that one rims out. Oh my goodness, they could be building this lead up. Allison Skaggs in. Edier will check out. And we have Brittany Russell coming back in for Koshkonong. And Maddie Eddington comes in for Olivia Cruz. 12.4 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Donettes are only 2 out of 2, 4, 6, 8 so far. And that one rims out. Both of those went down in and come back out. Bell in the back court, intercepted by Eddington. Eddington dribbles down, gives it over to Dutton, and Dutton slips and falls. And again, another wasted opportunity, and hopefully the missed free throws and the easy missed shots in the first half and plays like that won't come back to haunt the Donettes. 2.6 seconds to go. Donettes going to apply some full court pressure, make them probably won't get a shot off unless they throw one into the front court. They get it in right underneath the Sturgeon, and she doesn't get a shot off. So the Donettes score 11 in that third quarter and hold Koshkonong to 2. Go from being down by 5 to going ahead by 4, 25-21, heading to the fourth quarter. We will return in 1 minute here on Current River Broadcasting.
You've heard it all before. We're number one. We're the best. We have the biggest rebates. Now is the time to skip the hype and come to Current River Ford in Doniphan. They're all about helping you find the perfect new Ford. Current River Ford services your vehicles after the sale. From the moment you drive in, you will receive the quality service you've been missing. With the selection at Current River Ford, you'll find the new vehicle you want. How about getting your next vehicle at a dealership that makes it all about you? Current River Ford, Highway 160 in Doniphan.
Well, the Donettes done a little damage here in the third quarter. I'm not going to say it was a good quarter, but it was better than the first half, and they score 11 points. They only scored 14 the entire first half. But the defense was great. They only give up 2 points. They were down by 5 at halftime, and now they're up by 4. And 1 quarter to play, but this is going to be an extremely low-scoring game, whoever comes out on top. Donettes will send out Edier, Dutton, Cruz, Turner, and Sydney Speck. It'll be Mathey, Bell, Russell, Sturgeon, and G back on the floor. G is playing with 3 fouls. She gets the ball, guarded by Sydney Speck. Over to Russell on the left side. Now back on the right side to Bell. Bell going to take it in, cut off by Dutton. Back out front, off Sturgeon's leg. She picks it up, and G comes and gets the ball from her. Back on the right side, and the driving layup is no good, and the ball is going to go out of bounds off of Russell. And we're going to see full court pressure by Koshkonong. The bounce pass comes to Edier. Right back to Cruz. Over to Dutton, cross-court pass to Edier. Nice press break. In the corner to Speck. Three-pointer up on the way. It's no good. Offensive rebound by Edier. Puts it on the floor. It's knocked away. And another held ball, and this one will belong to the Donettes. When the big people put that ball on the floor, the guards just go to swiping, and it does not work most of the time. Donettes do keep possession on the possession arrow. Speck gives it out to Cruz on the right wing. Over on the left side of Dutton. Alton still in a 2-1-2 zone. Back in the corner is Speck. Speck lobs it in the middle, and a reach over the back. I think that was, well, we'll see. I don't know if it was Russell or Sturgeon. It's going to be Russell who tried to jump over the back and knock that ball away. And Edier back to the free throw line again. She is 0 for 6, I believe. 0 for 5 or 0 for 6. There she got that one. Donettes only 3 out of 10. I mean, they could have really built on this lead. Emily with 11 points now to lead the Donettes. And that one bounces around. It won't go. And Sturgeon gets the rebound. Gives it to G. It's 26-21. G guarded by Speck. Gives it to Mathey. Now to Sturgeon. They're running a motion offense against the Donettes defense. Man-to-man defense. Sturgeon dribbles down. Ball knocked away. Dutton got in there and got a hand on it. Sturgeon got it back, and then she threw it out of bounds. Jalen Dutton, a little water bug out there. She's always pestering somebody. I said the other night, she reminds me a whole lot of her brother Jared that played for the boys here. He was always getting in somebody's pocket. Long pass up the floor, batted out of bounds by Sturgeon. Donettes will inbound over on the right sideline. That wasn't a real good pass, but Donettes got away with it. Dutton has to work to get open. Gives it back to Olivia Cruz. In the corner, Turner. Turner throws it over Dutton's head. Maffei's one-on-one with Cruz, and Cruz does a good job of knocking it away without fouling. And Addie Jones is coming in, I'll bet you, for Timber Turner. Now she's coming in for Sydney Speck, but Bailey Carson's coming in for Timber Turner. Donettes lead 26-21. Bell inbounds underneath the G, goes up, and she's fouled by Addie Jones. Got her down low with the body. That is Jones's first foul. And it will send Tyra G to the free throw line. She's got 4 points in the ball game. And the free throw's off the back of the rim. 6:21 left in the ball game. Donettes lead is 5. And that one misses long, but an offensive rebound by Russell, and she turned around and sticked it in. She is actually their leading scorer with 7 points, and she has not played a lot of minutes. Cruz dribbles through the press. 26-23, three-point game again. These missed free throws right now would look a whole lot better if the Donettes would have made about half of them. Cruz picks up her dribble, and why in the world do you do that? They're playing a zone defense. They're coming out and getting on you a little bit, and they may be going to go man-to-man now. They are. They look like they're going man-to-man. Cruz gives it over to Dutton. They're out at the volleyball line. Dutton dribbles head of the key, gives it over right side to Cruz, and she's going to back it back out with 5.5 minutes to go. We may not get to 30 in this game. And it's going to be a blocking foul on Jade Bell. And the Donettes are probably going to shoot some free throws. And that is team foul number 10, so that's going to be 2 shots. And Olivia Cruz has 4 points, all those back in the first half. And she makes the first one. And Lindsay Wiggs comes back into the game for Jade Bell. Leave his second shot no good, but Emily Ettier gets the rebound on the baseline, and she tries to dribble baseline. Bring it back out, Emily. Got a 4-point lead. They'll take a little time off the clock and try to get it into you in a good position. You were way too far out. Dribbled it off her leg. And Jalen Dutton gets a steal, and then she has to save it right underneath the Sturgeon. You don't ever want to throw it back towards their basket, and that's what happened. I'm telling you, this game's too close for my blood. I just got a feeling Koshkonong, the way they're playing and the way the Donettes are missing free throws, that might come back to haunt them. Addie Jones, three-pointer, no good. Ettier gets the rebound. Back out to Cruz. It's down to a 2-point lead with 4:50 left in the game. Dutton dribbles in, kicks it to Jones. In the lane, Ettier turns and tries to hit Turner instead of shooting it. Intercepted by Maffei. Overpassing big time. And a three-pointer by Russell. It's good, and they got the lead. They didn't even go guard her. She's only hit the only 2 three-pointers in the ball game. Cruz back the other way. He's going to take it all the way down. Bounces to Dutton. Turns, shoots, no good. Sturgeon with a rebound. Too quick, folks. Got to try. You're 1 point behind with 4.5 minutes to go, and you run down there and throw it up. They're not used to being behind too awful much this year, so we'll see how they can play being behind here late in the ball game. 28-27, Koshkonong. G with the drive, goes in, and we got a foul. And she'll go back to the free throw line. She was 0 for 2 there just a short time ago. That one was on Ettier, her second. And she makes this one. It's a funny thing, having a lead makes you a little more comfortable. And it's 29-27 with 3:53 to go, and they got a chance to go up 3. We got a timeout with 3:53 to go. We will be back in 1 minute.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you.
I am Doug Green, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're in Ripley County, I've got you covered.
The phone booth is your one stop for all your cell phone needs. The phone booth now offers Total Wireless, where you can get unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data for only $35 a month. Need to add more phones to your account? Not a problem. Family plans are also available. You can manage your account in person or online at tpbooth.com. Come see the phone booth next to Subway in Doniphan for all your cell phone needs.
Well, the Donettes have been outscored this quarter 8-2 after outscoring them 11-2 in the third quarter. And we're down to 3:53 to go, and Tyra G., who made the first of 2 shots, got 1 more to go. And she makes it. She had missed 2 in a row the last time she was there, but a little more comfortable with a 1-point lead, and she makes both of them, and the Donettes down by 3. 2-2-1 press. Cruz over to Addie Jones, back to Cruz. Got to get it into the front court. Lobs it to Dutton. They got man wide open down underneath is Eddie here. She lays it up and in. Almost didn't get it there quick enough. 30-29. Koshkonong up by 1 point. G gives it left side to Mafe. Mafe dribbles around the screen. Over to Russell. They pick her up quickly. Turner on her. Back out front, Mafe. Over to G on the left wing. G now at the head of the key. Goes back to the left side. Gives it in the corner. That is Wiggs. Wiggs dribbles baseline, double teamed, and Emily Ettier takes it away from her. Cruz dribbling up the floor. She started to throw that ball to Addie Jones, and I'm glad she didn't because she wouldn't have had anything to do with it if she would have got it. Cruz bounces in the corner to Turner. Turner, Ettier, elbow. Back out to Dutton. She needs to get it a little deeper. Cruz has it knocked away, and Timber Turner saved it. And Coach Epps has to call a timeout. That ball would have been out on Koshkonong, and that made Coach Epps burn a timeout there because if Turner would have just let that went, it would have been inbounded and he would have still had a timeout left. So it's 30-29, so we did get to 30. Hopefully the Donettes will get there too, because if not, they're going to come out on the short end of this one. You got to go way back there, other than the second half against Poplar Bluff, that I've seen the Donettes play a game this bad, and I don't know. I don't know why. I do know one thing: they're not getting turnovers off of their press like they were like at the Christmas tournament at Twin Rivers, because they were just turning people over right and left, and that included Neelyville. And they have not gotten any turnovers out of their press hardly at all tonight. So we'll see. The Donettes have the ball down 1. But Coach Epps had to use a timeout. He still has 3 left. Koshkonong only has 1. Donettes in a 2-shot bonus, and Koshkonong is not yet in the bonus. Donettes have only committed 5 fouls. Well, Dutton will inbound it. We've got Dutton, Cruz, Jones, Turner, and Ettier on the floor. And we'll see if they stick with a man-to-man. I bet they're going to go back to the zone since they got the lead. Throw down low, Dutton, bad pass. And it's picked off. They got a man up ahead, and it's going to be thrown away. Now it's loose on the floor, and we're going to have a timeout by Coach Epps. The Turner was laying on the floor, had no place to go. And then Alton blew a chance there. Megan Maffei didn't have her head up looking up the floor. They'd have had a 2-on-1. And then when the Donettes tipped it, they still almost got it and had a wide open shot underneath. So the Donettes will have it now at the far end. Still plenty of time to go. trailing by 1. Now this game, I didn't go to the Naylor game because I was down at Twin Rivers doing the boys game, but the final score of that game was 34-32. And that's going to be something like that in this game. And when the scores are that low, the games are just played ugly. And that's the way this one's been. 2:25 to go in the game. And I don't know why they ain't got him back out on the floor. That was a 30-second timeout. Unless Coach Epps didn't have any. I don't think he'd used the 30 Ted, so all the officials were huddled up down there talking, and I think they give the teams an extra 30 seconds there, or close to 30 seconds. And Timber Turner's must have a bloody spot on her arm. They're putting a Band-Aid on her arm before she gets back out there. So we got full court pressure by Koshkonong. They're still leading 30-29. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. Donettes getting in, and the pass in the middle to Turner. She dropped it, loose on the floor. And now Koshkonong is going to get a timeout. I tell you what, fumble fingers, I've never seen anything like it. That pass was right in her hands, and she just couldn't hang on to it. We got another timeout, so we'll take one this time as well. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Davis True Value is proud to sponsor the Dons and Donettes for another exciting ball season. Just like the Dons and Donettes, Davis True Value knows hard work wins the game. They are your selection, service, and savings destination hardware store, serving the area with paint, plumbing, electrical, lawn and garden, and housewares. Your local True Value hardware with so much more. From window repair to chainsaw sharpening, we are the store of first choice. Behind every project is a True Value.
If you're shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV, you need to make a stop at Countryside Chevrolet on Highway 160 in Doniphan. Countryside has one of the largest Chevrolet selections in the area, plus plenty of pre-owned vehicles that go through a 117-point inspection before they're warranted for 12 months or 12,000 miles. The goal at Countryside is to provide you the best deal on your next car, truck, or SUV. See them online at CountrysideChevrolet.com or call 1-800-63-CHEVY. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
Well, Maddie Eddington is checked into the game for Turner. She was still bleeding, I guess. They didn't get that covered up. But when they inbounded the ball, they took it down underneath the basket. Emily Eddier took it away, and then she was fouled. I think that foul was on Callie Sturgeon, I believe. That's her second. So Eddier, who has only made one free throw tonight, steps up there and makes this one and ties the game. 14 points for Eddier, 2:14 to go. In the last 20 seconds, we've had all kinds of turnovers back and forth. And she makes the second one and gives the Donettes a 1-point lead, 31-30. G brings it up, gives it on the left side to Maffei. Maffei dribbles into the paint, pass down low, and it's going to be knocked away by Cruz. She can't quite control it before it goes out of bounds. And Russell will throw it in. Underneath the Sturgeon, she missed a shot, got her own rebound, put it in, and she's fouled. You got to get that defensive board. They made her miss the first one, or she missed the first one. I don't know if they made her. Yeah, I'm not sure who that, I thought it was Aunt Addie Jones, but they didn't put it up there on Jones. So Sturgeon, chance for the three-point play. We're one tick under 2 minutes to go. She misses. Olivia Cruz gets the rebound. 32-31 Koshkonong. 1:50 to go in the ball game. Cruz over to Dutton, in the corner to Jones. Free throw line, Cruz. Picked up quickly, takes it in, throws up a wild shot. And the rebound to Russell, and then her pass is batted out of bounds. That is a horrible, horrible shot to take when you're 1 point behind. Maffei bounces it to Sturgeon. Now to G. They're going to run some clock here and look for a layup. G handling out front. Gives it back to Sturgeon. Now over to Maffei. We're down to 1:15 to go. Right side to Russell. And I'm thinking here you got to foul Sturgeon. Now, don't foul her. She just made 2 in a row. And it'll be a 1-and-1. That foul was on Jones. And besides that, she wrapped her arms around her. You're lucky you don't get an intentional foul. All you got to do is reach in and knock the ball away instead of grabbing them around the waist. And she makes it. It's foul Sturgeon when she had the ball. She's not made a free throw tonight. 7 points for G. And it's 8 points, and it's a 3-point lead. Fouled the wrong person. 1 minute to go. The Donettes down by 3. Eddington gives the ball to Cruz. To Dutton in the corner to Jones. Free throw line. Cruz steps behind the 3-point line and buries the 3-pointer. What a shot there by Olivia Cruz to tie it at 34. 45 seconds left. Maffei spins, gives it out to Sturgeon. Sturgeon holds above her head. Puts it on the floor. Dribbles down into the paint. Stops, shoots, and no good. Offensive rebound by Russell. The ball loose on the floor. Jump ball. And the arrow will favor Koshkonong. Donettes are having a hard time getting some defensive rebounds, especially when they really need them. So with 28.7 to go, they're going to have to play defense again. It's funny how a dull, boring game can get exciting in the last minute. Inbounds to G. Backdoor pass intercepted by Edier. Edier will give it to Dutton. 20 seconds to go. Comes across the half line. Gives it to Olivia Cruz with 15 seconds. 34-34. Cruz bounces to Eddington. Back to Cruz. Cruz dribbles into the paint. Back to Edier. Eddington, the ball goes through her hands. Picked up by Koshkonong. Don't foul. Don't foul. And she loses it. And the clock goes off. Buzzer goes off. And we are going to overtime. 34-34. I guess that's only fitting the way this game's been. I think both teams won 2 quarters apiece, so we end up 34 all. We're going to overtime. We'll play, I believe, 4 minutes, 4 minutes overtime. And they will add, I think, 1 timeout back for each team, so the Donettes will have 3. And Koshkonong will have 1. One of the Koshkonong fans here hollering at the referees that shot Cruz hit wasn't a 3-pointer. But they looked at all 3 officials got together and they said it was. So we'll play, I believe they play 4 minutes in varsity. Now, the Donettes are in the 2-shot bonus, and Lady Bluejays are in the 1-and-1. Emily Edier leading the Donettes in scoring with 15. Olivia Cruz has got 8. She had a big 3 there to tie the game again. And Brittany Russell has 10. Tyra G has 8. And Callie Sturgeon has 8 for Koshkonong. 4 minutes on the clock, so we're going to play at least another half a quarter. And I may have to break another lemon drop out. So we'll have a jump ball. Only the second time in a basketball game you ever have a jump ball is if you go to overtime. Edier will jump against Sturgeon. Donettes going right to left. Koshkonong left to right. Donettes send out their starters. And Koshkonong has all their starters except for Bell. And Koshkonong will get the tip. Tyra G. Right side to Bell. Down the center of the floor to Russell. And they're running their motion here like they were running at the end. And Callie Sturgeon drives and scores. Donettes having a terrible time on defense tonight, staying up with people one-on-one. They've gotten beat several times, and that normally does not happen. They go up by 2. Addie Jones lobs it back out to Cruz, cross court to Turner. Back to the free throw line. Cruz jumper up, no good. And Russell with the rebound for Koshkonong. Donettes just struggle shooting from the outside. They just have a hard time hitting outside shots. Mafe gives it over to Sturgeon. They're going to run their motion offense again. And Timber Turner gets a steal, and she's going to go down, and the ball knocked away from behind. And a foul called on Sturgeon. And Timber Turner will shoot 2. That is the 3rd foul on Callie Sturgeon. And Timber Turner with 2 points in the ball game. Steps to the free throw line and makes the first one. And we have Lorna Howell coming back in for Brittany Russell for the Lady Blue Jays. 36-35. Turner trying to tie the game again. And that one rims out, but Olivia Cruz gets the rebound. Out to Dutton. And Dutton's going to back it out. Hits Eddier at the free throw line. Back to Dutton. Wide open 3. No good. And Timber Turner battling for the rebound. Can't handle it. And it goes out of bounds. So Koshkonong will get it with a 1-point lead and 2:43 left in overtime. And we're going to have to watch the dribble drive here because they've gotten beat a couple of times. A couple times they've missed shots, but Sturgeon made that last one on the dribble drive. Bell gives it over on the left side, Mafe. Mafe out front to G. Now to Sturgeon on the left wing. About 6 feet behind the three-point line. Over to, that was Howell. She missed the layup. And the Donettes get the rebound. I keep forgetting Howell's name. She started the game, but she hasn't played a whole lot. Cruz bounces to Dutton. In the corner, Jones fakes the 3. Free throw line. Cruz shot up, no good. Eddier with the rebound, goes up and no good, but she's fouled. And she'll be shooting 2. I want to tell you folks, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7. Donettes have only made 6 out of 17 from the free throw line, all in this second half. This game should have been over a long time ago. And we have Russell checking back into the ball game. Eddier struggled from the free throw line tonight. Made 2 the last time, and she missed that one. It's right on line, just a little long. The best she can do is tie it with 1:52 left in the overtime, in the first overtime. Next one is good. 36-36, 1:49 to go in overtime. Mafe backs it out towards midcourt. Reverses her dribble down into the paint. Bounces down low and Sturgeon's wide open. And again, they got beat off the dribble. And it was Mafe beat Olivia Cruz. And I can't figure out for the life of me why that's happening. Like normally doesn't happen. Donettes usually play good defense one-on-one, but and Addie Jones picks it up again. You can stand there and dribble that thing all day long, and they're not going to call anything if they're not guarding you, and she picked it up, and Coach Epps had to use another timeout. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back. Donettes down 2 points in overtime.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you.
I am Doug Green, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're in Ripley County, I've got you covered.
After the timeout, the Donettes will have the ball, and Coach Epps has brought Brooklyn Klepsik back in the ballgame. She has been a long time since she's been in there. They're down by 2 points with 1:18 left in overtime. 38-36. Olivia Cruz to throw it in. Gets it into Dutton. Back over to Cruz. Back in that 2-1-2 zone. Cruz dribbles in, hands it to Addie Jones, and they almost lose it. Cruz gets it back. Triple team. Bounces in the lane, knocked away right to Dutton. Dutton takes it down and scores. And the Donettes really got a break there. Really got a break. They tried to throw it away about 3 times, and Koshkonong didn't want it, I guess. But we're tied again with 47 seconds left. And Mafe pulls Cruz out. I don't know why. Cruz has gotten beat off the dribble, and there she goes again. And the corner shot, no good from about 10 feet. Ball tipped around underneath, and Bell comes out with it. Her shot, no good. And the Klepsik gets a rebound, and she's fouled. The foul's going to be on Russell. And why Bell turned around and shot that, I do not know. When they took it back out, they could have run some more clock. And the freshman, Brooklyn Klepsik, going to be at the line. Maybe she can show these upperclassmen how to, I think Russell just fouled out. She fouls out with 10 points. And 32.2 seconds to go. And Coach Ballard going to call a timeout. And we're tied at 38, and Brooklyn Klepsik, 5'6" freshman, going to have some pressure free throws. Probably the biggest free throw she's shot, at least in her high school career for sure. She plays on the JV most of the time, been getting some playing time on the varsity. An excellent shooter. And to me, it's a big thing. When you're in the 2-shot bonus, you don't have to press so much on that first one. If you're shooting a 1-on-1, you have to make that first one to get another one. But when it's 2 shots, you can kind of, it takes the pressure off a little bit. So hopefully she can give the Donettes a lead. We got 32.2 seconds to go. So Koshkonong, no matter what, is going to get the ball back again. Unless she misses a free throw and the Donettes get the rebound. We had a junior varsity boys game before this one. And it was the Don 65 and the Koshkonong Bluejays 26. Timeout is over. And Brooklyn Klepsik will step to the free throw line with 32.2 seconds left. And the game tied 38-38 in the first overtime. And the reason I keep saying the first overtime is the way it's gone. You may have another one. I'd just soon we get a couple of free throws and get a stop and then make a couple of more. And Coach Ballard has no timeouts left. Coach Epps has got 2. And Klepsik, and that's a smart thing for her to do. She stayed back off of the free throw line about a step until they got ready for her to shoot it. Takes 3 or 4 dribbles, eyes it up, and a little long off the back of the rim. Well, 2, 4, 6, 7 out of 20 from the free throw line. That's a measly 35%. That one's good. So the Donettes have a 1-point lead, and Koshkonong can still win it here with a basket or at least take the lead. Klepsik checks out. Timber Turner comes back in for defense. Mafe will bring it up. Cruz got to stop her once. And Sturgeon coming off a screen, no good. Offensive rebound underneath. That is Cher Gastineau, and she is fouled, and she'll get to shoot 2 free throws. And she has not been in the ball game hardly any at all. She is a senior. And with 20 seconds left, We'll see what she can do with her 2 shots. They are 6 of 10, much better than the Donettes here in the second half. She's a lefty, eyes it up. It's no good, and the rebound by Olivia Cruz in the back court. Got to get it over the half line, and Addie Jones was up the floor. Nobody even on that side of the floor, and they didn't see her. Coach Epps calls a timeout. Down to 13.7 seconds to go. And they'll have it about 3/4 court. And we're going to keep it here. We're going to run down the scoring as soon as the game's over so we can get all of our equipment wrapped up. And I want to remind everybody, tomorrow night, homecoming here at Doniphan, the Dons and the Naylor Eagles. And Dalton Pennington's going to be sitting in for me tomorrow night doing the play-by-play of the varsity boys game. And then on Monday night, the Donettes will travel to Alton. And let's see, on Thursday night, they go to Neelyville. And boy, I tell you what, they don't want to play like they played tonight when they go to Neelyville, that's for sure. That will not be much of a game if they do. And then next Friday night, the Dons will play at East Prairie. 39-38, Donettes by 1. They've got the basketball in the back court. If they get it in, they need to get it into the front court quickly. If they do that, Koshkonong is going to have to foul. And right now, I don't know the way the Donettes have missed free throws. I don't even know who Coach Epps would want to get fouled. Be best if they could just run the clock out, but I don't think Koshkonong will let that happen. But they do need to get it into the front court as quick as possible. Well, Koshkonong was going to apply full court pressure, or 3/4 court pressure, because that's where they're taking it out. Jalen Dutton will throw it in. They've got Callie Sturgeon, their tallest girl, guarding the inbounder. Ball handed to Dutton, inbounds it to Cruz. Cruz dribbling backwards, and the ball knocked away, and she's fouled by G. That was really close to being a mistake there. She turned around right into the defense, and she was going away from the Donettes basket. Now, Coach Epps telling her that right now. There was 3 girls on her. They had to be somebody open up in the front court. So Olivia Cruz shooting 2. She needs to make both of them. That way, if they throw in a 3-pointer, it won't beat them. They've only made 2 threes, and those both by a player that's fouled out. The free throw no good. Oh, my goodness. The Donettes are not super free throw shooters, but they're not normally this bad. This has just been one of those nights where nothing has gone very well. And that one almost rimmed out. Cruz with 9. Maffei turn, drive, left-handed layup, too hard, ball tipped around, and the Donettes get it, and they hang on for a 40-38 win over the Koshkonong Lady Blue Jays. And folks, that was hard, I tell you. You really got to feel sorry for the team that loses in a game like that. But I will say the Donettes did not play well. Can't say for Koshkonong because first time I've seen them play, so I don't know. But the Donettes hang on and win at 40-38, move to 11-4 on the season. Scoring for Koshkonong, Lorna Howell with 3, Tyra G 8, Megan Maffei with 5, Brittany Russell 10, and 12 for Callie Sturgeon. And they were 6 of 11 from the free throw line in the second half, and 8 of 17 for the game. And the Donettes were 9 of 23, and that's definitely an issue right there for sure. And all those came in the second half. 4 points for Jalen Dutton, 3 for Addie Jones, 3 for Timber Turner. And let's see, 9 points for Olivia Cruz, 2 for Maddie Eddington, 16 for Emily Edier, and 3 points for Brooklyn Klepsik. And Klepsik hit the free throw that was the eventual winner when the game was tied 38 all. So remind everybody, if you can, come out for the homecoming tomorrow night. If not, you can watch it right here on YouTube. And Dalton Pennington will have the play-by-play. I'll be back with you Monday from Alton with the Donettes and Alton Lady Comets. Thank you for being with us tonight. It's Keith Bowman. Good night, everybody.